నమస్తే మేడం. నేను ఇలా డైరెక్ట్ ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ నేను చెప్పడానికి కారణం కెమెరా మీద చేస్తుంటే మొత్తం షేక్ అయిపోతుంది మేడం. దానివల్ల విజువలైజేషన్ క్లియర్‌గా ఉండట్లేదు. సో, అందుకు ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ మీద అయితే క్లియర్‌గా ఉంటుంది, క్లారిటీగా ఉంటుంది అని చెప్పేసి నేను ఇలా ఆన్ స్క్రీన్ మీద చేస్తున్నాను. ఇఫ్ ఎనీ ఒకవేళ ఇఫ్ దేర్ ఈస్ ఎనీ ప్రాబ్లమ్ కైండ్లీ రిప్లై మీ. నేను ఇంకొక అనదర్ మెథడ్‌లో చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాను మేడం. ఓకే. సో మేడం, ఓకే. లెట్స్ వి కంటిన్యూ ద టాపిక్. Today I would introduce the topic that is derivation of formula for a curved mirrors. I have to derive some formula for curved mirrors. Today I will do that. Let us take one mirror. For example, it is a concave mirror. It is good at concave mirror, this experiment. Okay. For this mirror, obviously a mirror have a principal axis, that is the imaginary line we have. So it has a one principal axis. This principal axis meets the starts from the point P, which is also known as a pole of the mirror. So this is the principal axis. From this principal axis, let's we emerge a light ray from the principal axis towards the mirror. This is the light ray which is started from the point O from the principal axis and hits the mirror at point A. So this is the incident ray, and these obviously these incident ray get reflected from the mirror to the direction towards the principal axis. Towards the principal axis. So towards the principal axis and meet at the principal axis known as point I. Why here we given point I means here the image formed. Here the image formed. So the incident ray meets the mirror at point A and the reflected ray starts from the point A and hits the principal axis at point I. So here we have both incident ray and also a reflected ray. So what is need here? So to obtain a angle, to define an angle, machine should we put a normal here. So we should draw a normal here to bifurcate the angle. So here then to bifurcate the normal splits the angle equal parts. That is, here is the angle theta. Let's imagine this is angle theta and this is also theta. Why? This is these two angles are same. Why? Because this the normal bisects the angle equal parts. That means already we know angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So both angles are represented as theta and both angles is equal. So here this is theta and this is also theta. Then obviously we can find out that here this point A is a height of h from the principal axis. So height is always this is from y-axis. We represent it to y-axis with y-axis. So this point A is at a height of h from the principal axis. So let we draw a imaginary line from A to principal axis which is perpendicular to the principal axis to represent the height h here. Okay, this is a complete diagram now. So now here we can find three vertices also here. Those are here O is one of the vertices of the triangle, and also the normal midpoint at the principal axis is represented as C. This is a one vertices C. This is a one vertices on the principal axis for the triangle at C, point C, and also I is also another vertices on the principal axis for the triangle. So these at these vertices there should be a machine should be some angle also formed. So that angles we can note that angle that with the symbols with alpha here and here, beta here and gamma here. యాక్చువల్లీ నేను ఇది కొంచెం లేట్గా చెప్పాలి మేడం, బట్ బోర్డ్ అడ్జస్ట్మెంట్ వల్ల నేను ఇది ముందుగా చెప్పాను కంప్లీట్ ఫిగర్ రావాలని చెప్పేసి. సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద, సో హియర్ వీ represent the angles with the alpha, beta, gamma. So here now we can observe three right angles here, that one is AOP dash. Okay, here AOP dash, it is AOP dash one right angle, and ACP dash here. So sorry, I didn't put the P dash here. The normal here, the height, we given one perpendicular line here to represent H. That perpendicular line meet the principal axis at the point P dash here. Okay, so this is also one of the point P dash on the principal axis. We find that. So by this, okay, read back to our our three triangles issue. Okay, there is a three triangles we found here. Already I represented. One is AOP dash, and another one is here ACP dash. This is one triangle, and third one is here AIP dash. AIP dash. This is the three triangles we found here. Again, I will tell based on this rectangle, based on this right angle triangle based, we find three right angles here. Here the angle forms for the three right angle triangles. For the three right angle triangles, here the right angle is formed. So based on this right angle, I will again repeat the triangles. What we found here is OP dash A and CP dash A and IP dash A. Okay, so already I said in before we found three vertices O, C and I here. O, C, I here. At the vertices there is a three angles formed, alpha, beta, gamma. Considering on this, we can find, we recollect the one formula already we learnt in the geometry, in the mathematics, which it is that here the summation of these interior angles is equal to the exterior angle which is outside of the triangle beta. Here I taken, let consider OAC triangle. In this OAC triangle, the summation of interior angles, that is alpha 1 and theta, alpha and theta, summation of alpha and theta is equal to the exterior angle beta. Okay, so by this triangle AOC, we found the formula that beta equal to alpha plus theta, and here theta equal to this alpha goes towards to the LHS side, then it forms beta minus alpha. Finally we found theta equal to beta minus alpha. This is the equation 1. We have to remember that. Okay, again, then here from triangle ACI, then here from triangle ACI, then here from triangle ACI, this is triangle ACI, this is triangle ACI here. So here I can find the triangle ACI. From this triangle ACI, I found that here also we have two angles, that is two interior angles, that is beta here and theta here, and the exterior angle here is gamma. Okay, from this figure, we find that interior angles, some of the interior angles of the triangle AIC, here I given concluded the equation, that is theta plus beta equal to gamma. Okay, theta plus beta equal to gamma. So already we get the value of theta in the before equation, that is theta equal to beta minus alpha. If we substitute this equation in this second equation, then we concluded. So if you put the value, if gamma equal to beta plus theta, if you put the value of theta in this equation, gamma equal to beta plus, in the theta we can replace beta minus alpha. So by this, gamma equal to 2 beta plus 2 beta minus alpha we find. So here this minus alpha transferred to the LHS side, so then we obtain 2 beta equal to gamma plus alpha. So this is a important formula we should be used for further uses in our class. So I keep it. So this equation is useful to derive the formula for our purpose, for what we started. So this equation is important, kindly keep it in our mind. Let us discuss, let we use this formula later on. And here let's to continues, consider another case. For case 1, let's we continue the another case to continuation for this. Now for the case 1, what happens here in the diagram? What happens if there is in this diagram, if case 1 you are discussing that if this height of the h is minimal, that means if the height is nearly equal to the 0, then what happens? This point A is slightly down and come towards the principal axis and forms and this point A will come the position here to A, which is near to the pole. Okay, this is the case. And if the height is come near value of 0. Okay, we have another diagram considering a case that is value of h is minimum, which is nearly equals to the 0. That means the incident ray is, here is the pole P, point P, where is the principal axis meets the mirror. So we transferred the one ray which is near to P to here. That means nearly height h is negligible. So here now the point is here is at A, where the incident ray meets the mirror. Then also we find the reflected ray from the A that meets the principal axis here. Already we know that it is a I, and normal we have here, which is the point is known as C, and here from where the incident ray comes from, here that is O. Everything is same for that. Okay, so here we almost we can find that here the perpendicular drawn from the A to principal axis here from the point A, this is almost which we already represented in before, that is P dash. Now this P dash lies on the pole P. So that means for this case P is equal to the P dash now. Why? This line almost all equally hits the principal axis at P, so that this imaginary line already in before picture, that is P dash, considering that P dash where the hitting point of that imaginary light for height, that is hitting now, it is at P. So it is P also acts as a P dash. Now the points P and P dash are equal position. Okay, are you understand? So this is the case for to derive. Okay, let's continue. Now we can say P dash O is PO and P dash C is PC and just a minute, PC and P dash I equal to PI. Okay, is it clear? Why this we happens already? P dash point P dash is becomes P dash is becomes P. So in these all three equations, now P dash is converted to point P. Okay, here it the all these places we found. Yes, now we can also observe from the second figure here the angles alpha and beta and gamma also very less. Is it right? Alpha, beta, gamma are also very less. For that purpose, and to find out the alpha, beta, gamma values, we find the values for tan alpha and tan beta and tan gamma. We have to find these values, okay, for our derivation purpose. మేడం యాక్చువల్లీ ఇక్కడ నేను బోర్డు ఉంటే ఇంకా క్లియర్గా ఫిగర్ని చూపిస్తే చేసి ఉండేవాడిని, బట్ ఇక్కడ పాసిబిలిటీ ప్రాబ్లం వల్ల నేను ఇలా చెప్పాల్సి వస్తుంది. దెన్ సో లెట్స్ ఆల్రెడీ వీ నో దట్ P dash is assumed to coincide with P. Already we know that P dash is equal to P. So for this purpose, so we are finding now tan alpha value. So tan alpha value, which is so for the derivation of tan, already we know the opposite side by adjacent side. Okay, for the derivation of tan, to calculate the tan values. So what we already we know. Here this I will show you big figure. Okay, here to find out the tan alpha, so what is the opposite side here? What is the opposite side here? To find out the alpha, here AP is opposite side, AP dash, here AP dash in the before latter figure P dash is equal to P. Okay, then to find out the beta also, AP dash is opposite figure. To find out the gamma also, AP dash is a opposite figure. Now opposite side. Okay, opposite figure. For alpha, opposite side. Beta, AP dash is opposite side. Gamma is also AP dash is a opposite side. And obviously for to find out the alpha, so here to find out the alpha, P dash O is adjacent side. To find out the beta, P dash C is adjacent side and P dash C is adjacent side. And to find out the gamma, PI is adjacent side. Okay, so again I will show you clearly by this. I will show you another diagram. You can easily. Okay, maybe I'm telling you because of technical issue. So here we have to find out these alpha and these beta and these gamma here for the second diagram, which is the height is negligible and also P is equal to P dash. Okay, here also the opposite side is here also the opposite side is AP dash. To find out the tan alpha, alpha, this is the to find out tan alpha, opposite side AP is here, AP by the adjacent side is P dash O here. Then to find out the beta, to tan beta, opposite side is again this AP dash and adjacent side is this P dash C. Okay, again now to find out the tan gamma, again the height is, that means the adjacent side is AP dash and the opposite side is AP dash and the adjacent side is again P dash I. Okay, so by this using this diagram, let's we continue with a clear explanation. So here we find the values from the before diagram. Tan alpha equal to P dash A. So already we know P dash is means PO PA by PO, okay, and P dash A equal to, and P dash A by PC equal to PA dash means PA by PC, and also here PA dash means PA by PI. Okay, so from this PA means here height H by PO, and PA means it is also H by PC, and here also PA by PI equal to, this is also H by PI. So finally we got the values. Tan alpha equal to H by PO, and tan beta equal to H by PC, and tan gamma equal to H by PI. So here let's we consider another case also, case 2. If theta is very small, already we find that why theta is very small. We said here from the figure, here we find the theta, here we find the theta here. Okay, we find the theta here. In the before figure there is a much large angle, that means amount of angle is high here, theta. But considering this this A coming to the near to the principal axis, then automatically this angle is also why, because this incident ray is with coming very with less angle to the principal axis. So let's consider another case. If theta is nearly equal to 0, so what happens then? Okay, if theta is equal to 0, then the value of tan theta is also becomes very small near to 0. Then we can write this tan alpha equal to alpha tan alpha equal to alpha. Why? Because the value is very small, then near to 0, then the alpha equal to, then we can get alpha equal to H by PO, and tan beta equal to beta, tan beta becomes beta, and beta equal to now H by PC, and also tan gamma becomes gamma, okay, that is equal to H by PI. So finally we got these values for alpha, beta, gamma. Okay, alpha equal to H by PO, and beta equal to H by PC, and gamma equal to H by PI. We finally we concluded these values. Okay, if we put these values in the equation before what we said important, that is already seen, I will show you that that is so this is the equation. In this, if we put the values what we obtained the values alpha and beta and gamma. Here what we obtained here, alpha equal to H by PO, and beta equal to H by PC, and gamma equal to H by PI. We find we find out those values. Okay, if we put these values in this equation, what we obtain, let me see that. So in this equation we substitute the values, what we get, beta equal to 2 into H by PC, and equal to alpha equal to H by PO, plus gamma equal to H by PI. So by on all the sides from the LHS and RHS, we can cancel the value of H from both sides. Then equation becomes 2 by PC equal to H by PO equal 1 by PO equal to 1 by PO plus 1 by PO plus 1 by PI. Now to find the correct values to this equation, to this situation, we have to follow the sign conventions. Correct? We have to find out the correct sign conventions. For this purpose, let's move towards the image, the diagram. I will show you that. for the sign conventions, let's we see all distances should be measured from the pole from here. Okay, all distances should we measure from the, oh, just a minute, we should measure from the pole here. Okay, from this pole only we can measure the all distances. From the distances, the distance measured in the direction of incident, so the distance measured from the direction of incident should be taken as a positive, and the distance measured from the direction of reverse direction of the incident ray should be taken as negative. That means here the incident ray travels towards this direction should be taken as a positive value, and this is the direction the ray travels in the opposite direction of this incident ray should be taken as a value negative. And also here height of the object, here height of the object, and also here this is the object. Okay, this is the object here, and also the height of the object is considered as a h suffix 0, and also the height of the image should be considered as a, here height of the image should be considered as a h suffix I. So this is the sign conventions we have to follow. That again I am telling you, all measurements should be measured from the value of, from the point P, and also we should follow the direction towards the incident ray's direction should be taken as a positive, and the reverse direction of the incident ray should be taken as a negative, and height is considered as height of the object considered as h0, and height of the image considered as hi. Now we can find out the values of the equation. Here I will explain for our convenience. Here the PC is one of, here PC's value is radius of curvature that can be denoted as that can be measured as r, and in the same way this direction was measured from towards the P to C, and it is also in the direction of these, and it is also opposite direction of incident ray. So this sign is minus. So here the distance of PC is represented as minus r, and it is also known as a radius of curvature from the figure. Okay, and again object distance, here is the object, here this object distance is PO. It is also measuring from the P towards the O. It is traveling in the opposite direction of the incident ray, so it is also denoted with, represented with a negative sign, and it can be, we can denote it with u, this distance PO for our convenience, minus u. And also image distance is here, image distance is at here, this is also a PI, this is also traveling towards the negative direction, that is opposite direction to the incident ray. Say this is also we consider this as a negative sign, and the distance is v for our convenience. Now we get the values of the distance of PC, the distance PC, radius of curvature is minus r, and these r and u and v is variables for our convenience, which is already we derived a equation for universal purpose, so that we are representing these values only. These are variables, we can represent with other variables also, but our conveniences, but for the universal method we are giving these, okay. So minus r is the value of PC, distance of PC, and PO is a distance of minus u, and PI is a is shown as a distance, is represented as minus v. So putting these values in the equation, what we obtained in the equation 2 by PC, we get minus r equal to 1 by PO, that is minus u, plus 1 by minus v values we get finally. Then finally this minus sign is both sides, this minus sign get cancelled. Finally we get the equation 2 by r equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. So already we find that from the figure, here is a focal point, here this is the these PC is the radius of curvature. We said this radius of curvature is always equal to the double measurement of these focal distance. Okay, so from this diagram and from the principles we found that radius is equal to the double of the focal point distance. So r equal to 2f we said here. By putting this value in the above equation, 2 by 2f equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. By cancelling these both two, we finally get the equation 1 by f equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. This is the final equation we have to find out, that is 1 by f equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. This is the formula for the focal length. To find out the focal length of a specified mirror what we have taken. Okay, these formula should be taken according to the sign conventions of that mirror, that's the situation. Okay, based on this situation this focal length may be varies. Okay, so according to the sign conventions, based on the situations, we have to follow these focal length formula for the mirrors. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, ma'am.